Hello, in this video, we're going to be talking about estimating sums and differences. I'm also going to do some review of how to use some mental math for addition and place value drawings and how much each of the values represent. This is a great time to take some notes on estimation. Remember that estimation is rounding a number to the highest place value that both numbers share. The word about means to estimate. Common misconception is that estimation is a guess, but estimations are not guess. There is a mathematical process involved in getting a correct estimation. So let's take a look at our example here. We have 1,297 plus 802. Now, the first thing we need to do when we're estimating is find what place value they both share. That is the highest. So they both have ones, they both have tens, they both have hundreds, but this one only has thousands. The other one doesn't. So the place value that they both share is hundreds. So we are going to round each number to the nearest hundred. Remember, when we're rounding, we underline the place value we are rounding to. And it's the number behind that tells it what to do. So in this first case, 9 is saying to the 2 to go up. So our estimation is going to be 1,300 because we wanted to round to the nearest hundred. Plus, our 0 is telling our 8 what to do. 0 is small, so 0 says for it to stay. So that one's going to be 800. When I add these two together, we can use our basic math facts of just 8 plus 3, which is 11. So the other one carries over into the next place value. So our estimation is 2,100. To find the exact, you need to line up place values. So I'm going to use this space over here. 1,000. Made a little mistake there. Let's start again. 1,297. So if we're going to do the exact, we need our exact numbers. When we are adding, we have to line up place values. So the 1 is in the 1,000s. The 8 is not in the thousands. The 8 is in the hundreds. So we have to make sure we're lining them up properly. Remember, this is a good use to use your notebook. And when you use your notebook, turn it so that it's horizontal and the lines are going up and down. And put each number inside a line column so you have your columns of nice numbers set out to keep your information organized, kind of like that. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 0 is 9. 2 plus 8 is 10. Carry our 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So our exact answer is 2,099. And you can see where our estimation and our exact are very close and similar. So that means our exact answer is probably right because it's close to our estimate. Finding estimates is a great way to check your work to see if you are coming up with the right answer. Let's take a look at another. So we are going to estimate. The very first thing we're going to do is rewrite our problem on a piece of paper or in another space so that we can round our numbers to estimate them better. Now, the first number goes all the way from ones tens, hundreds, thousand. So we're in the 1,000ths place value. Ones, tens, hundreds. So the second number only goes to the hundreds. So the highest value they both share is the hundreds. The number behind it tells it what to do. 2 is telling the 0 to stay because 2 is a small number. So this one's going to just stay a 6. The 0 is going to stay, and everything behind it becomes zeros. Plus, our 0 is telling our 2 what to do. 0 says to stay because it's a small number. So the 2 is staying a 2. When you do estimations, it is very important that you put your estimated amounts on the line to show how you came up with your answer. So 6,000 plus 200 equals 6,200. Now we need to find the exact. Again, on your paper, specially aligned paper, you have those nice lines if you turn your paper the horizontal way. So I'm going to just draw in some nice lines so you can maybe see it better. Each digit gets a space. I like to write my second number backwards sometimes so that I can start at the back and line up my digits correctly in the right place values. It is so important that you line up your place values because it would be like if you're trying to add up apples and bananas. They're not the same thing. If they're not lined up the same place value, it's you're trying to add up things that don't exist or can't match. So 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry your 1. 1 plus 2 plus 0 is 3. 0 plus 2 is 2. And 6 plus nothing is 6. So your actual answer is 6,237. So you can see between our estimate and our exact, we were only 37 off. And out of 6,000, 37 is a very small number. Let's talk about how to use some mental math to add up big numbers. Now, sometimes the best bet is to not be adding a whole bunch of numbers together at the same time. But you can add numbers that make sense together first, like 2 and 8. If I combine 2 and 8 right away, I get 10. That is a quick fact. And then I'm left with a 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15. Again, I'm going to look at our next set of numbers. I have a 1, a 3, a 2, and an 8. What two numbers can I combine to get a nice number? 10 is usually a nice number. And what I can combine again in this case is the 2 and the 8. 2 and 8 becomes 10. And then I can add in the 3 and the 1. Well, 3 and 1 is 4. So I get 4 plus 10, which is 14. So by combining things that get to a nice even number, you can add up your problems quicker. Let's talk about some place value. This unit, place value, is very important. These are the place value drawings. If you forgot them or don't remember them, it'd be a great time to pause and write them down. The very first one is the big rectangular box. That is our thousands bar. The reason it's a big rectangle box is if I take my hundreds box and I stacked 10 of them, they would create that shape. Because 10 100s makes 1,000. Hundreds is a box. The reason it's a box is because of the 10 stick. The 10 stick. If I were to draw 10 sticks in here, it would fill this box, making the shape. Ones is a circle. Again, it's a circle because if I were to stack 10 of these dots or circles on top of each other, it would create this straight 10 stick. So if you noticed, each place value is 10 times different than the one behind it. So we have ones. To go to tens, it's 10 times bigger. 10 of these ones dots would make it. If we're at 10, 10 of these sticks would make the hundreds. So it's times 10. From 100 to 1,000, 10 of these hundreds boxes make the 1,000. So down here you see an example. We have one big rectangle, so that is our 1,000. And we only have one of them. We have these 300 boxes. We have these 4 tens. And we have these 5 ones dots. So we can find our answer of 1,345. The last concept to show you today is talking about hundreds. How many hundreds does this number have? Well, if we think about 100, what would we be timesing that number by to get to 100? Well, 100 has 2 zeros. So if we notice, we have 2 zeros in that number. What is left behind? It's the 34. So it has 34 hundreds because there are 10 hundreds in each 1,000. So there would be 30 hundreds just in the thousands, and we have 4 hundreds in the hundreds. So again, we get the 34 times 100, which equals our 3,400. So our answer is 34. Please rewatch the video for any concepts that you still need some extra reminders and refreshers of. Otherwise, work on your worksheets, IXL lessons, and be ready for the test.